All right, guys, the last video, I'm going to talk about the post-test 11 and then the quiz. And the quiz is on circumference, area, and perimeter. And again, that's both in Unit 11 on Connexus. So I just kind of pulled some questions and drew some pictures that I'm going to share with you guys. So this was coming from the perimeter, circumference, and area quiz. I drew a picture and it actually asks you for the cumulative area of your shape. So I know it's been a hot minute since you guys have done this, but I just sectioned off my bigger figure into 3 smaller figures, and I just found the area of each and then added those together. So this larger rectangle was a 10 by 5, so that would have an area of 50. This little guy in the middle would have to be a 5 by 5 because the whole thing is 10, and if this is 5, then this is 5 as well. So 5 times 5 would give the middle guy 25 as an area, and then the right side would also be 50, and when you added them together, you get 125 feet squared. Area is always in squared units. Volume is in cubic units. I'm kind of skipping around, so you'll see too in just a second. But the next question asked you for your answer to be in feet. So your original shape had 40 inches and then 9 feet. So I went ahead and I converted it. I knew that there were 12 inches in a foot. So if I divided it by 12, that gave me 3.3 repeating. And then that's what I used when I found the area of my rectangle. So I did 3.3 repeating times 9, and that was actually 30 feet squared on the nose, like it didn't have a decimal anymore. When you find area of a circle, the formula is pi r squared. So literally, I looked at my circle, the radius, which remember radius is only going from center to one side. So that's radius. The whole thing across is diameter. But they gave me the radius, which is what my formula called for. So I literally would just plug this in the calculator. If you have a graphing calculator, you can use the pi symbol, which is right here in yellow. If you don't, you can just approximate it to 3.14, and you should still have an answer that's really close. So pi r squared is area of a circle, and I'm sure it would ask me to estimate to like the nearest tenth. So that would be 452.4. And then this is asking me area, so it would be inches squared. Okay. Flipping over, circumference is either 2 pi r or pi d. This was the picture they gave us, which they gave me the radius. So I would do the formula 2 pi r. And then again, pi is 3.14, or you can just use the pi symbol on your calculator. So 2 pi times the radius, and the radius that I got was 5. And so that would be 31.4. I also want to make sure that you guys know sometimes they'll leave their answer in terms of pi, meaning like they multiply everything but pi together. And in that case, this could also be your answer. They're equivalent when simplified, but sometimes like your only answer choices haven't been multiplied by pi yet. So just keep that in mind. This is coming straight from post 11, so all of that was from the quiz. You're given this picture, and it tells you the area of your square, but it wants you to find the area of a circle. So again, area of a circle is pi r squared, but you know the area of the bigger square, and we need the circle. So if your area is 900, you would do the square root of 900 to get one side is 30. Okay, so one side, all your sides are 30. Well, half of 30 is going to be the same as my radius right here. So half of 30 is 15. So I'm solving it with a radius of 15, which is just the whole side divided by 2. And then I would use my formula, the pi r squared. So I would do my pi symbol times the radius, which was half of the side squared. And that's going to give you about 706.9 units, or this one's feet squared. Midpoint, I know it's been a little while since we did that. So We love when they just give you 2 endpoints because you literally just find the average. So you add your x's together, divide by 2, add your y's together, divide by 2. So that's going to be 14 divided by 2, which is 7, and 8 divided by 2, which is 4. So midpoint is just, in the formula is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and that's the first part of your ordered pair, and then you just do y1 plus y2 divided by 2, and that's the y value in your ordered pair. All right, so now I have a few things that I have actually worked out on graph paper. This one is one me and my husband sat down because he's a visual learner and I'm not, and I was trying to make it really hard. But if you have a garden that's a 5 foot by 6 foot with a walkway that's 2.5 feet around, he visually showed me like how he thought of this because he's an engineer. So this is a 5 by 6, and then the thing to remember, it's got to be 2.5 all the way around. And then they wanted to know like what the total perimeter would be for everything. So you would actually have to count up after you did the 2.5 all the way around your 5 by 6. Then you would end up with a 10 by 11, and it was asking for the new perimeter. So you would just do 10 times 2 because you have 2 sides of 10, and then you're going to add that to the 11 times 2. And that, again, is going to give you the perimeter with the walkway that was 2.5 feet. All right, distance. So distance, yes, there is a formula, and you can find that in your packet. You can find that in your notes. You can definitely Google it. But the new cool thing that I actually, one of the only things I like about Common Core is using Pythagorean theorem. So I plotted the points, 1, 2, and then 4, 8. And then it asked me to find